Hello, in this video I'll show you how I'm connecting from Python to the database, and I'm using this functionality in Sparrow at the moment to log user activity and to control public access, to enable free tier, for example, to check how many times user is executing inference, and to limit this execution for a certain period so that other users would be able to test Sparrow at the same time without using a key. And yeah, in this video I talk about how I'm using database from Python code essentially, and I'm using Oracle database in this scenario. This is a free instance, free version of Oracle database that runs locally on my machine with the through the Docker container. And it got some limitations, like I think 1 gigabyte of data you can store, but it's completely free. There's no license, and you can use it in production as well. And I have a history of using Oracle products, working with Oracle technologies, doing Oracle consulting. So using Oracle database is a natural choice for me because I think it works great. It's easy to implement data extraction with PL SQL, and it's easy to integrate with different languages like Python, Java, or any other languages. So Oracle is natural choice for me. So let's see how it works. And yeah. This is I have a SQL developer where I log, for example, all the inference events, and this is the application where I could select example, and I could run the example here, click submit, and it executes. And then while it executes, I can go to the SQL developer here, can refresh the table, and see that event about the inference request was logged, and inference duration is updated as soon as the request completes. Okay, it should complete. Let's double check. Let's double check which model I was using. Okay, I was using a high quality model. So this one should, this one is a slower one. It should complete in 80 seconds or so. So let's wait a bit. And as soon as it completes, this entry will be updated. And I also store a bunch of other information, like the IP of the client who's using Sparrow. That I'm using the actually model name, as we can see here, 72 billion parameter model was used in this case. Then we have an indicator of which Sparrow key was used, and the keys are stored in a separate table. Then the page count of how many pages the document is used for the inference, and in this case it's finished, and it took 81 seconds to execute with this 72 billion QN model in this case. Okay, and then we got the response nicely here, and yeah, this is Gradio application. UI is generated with Gradio on the server side, and this means it's a Python environment, and then it prepares all the HTML to be rendered in a web page, and this HTML is sent back from the server to a client, and it displayed on the client side. For this reason, it's relatively also easier to integrate Oracle calls to the application, because application is a Python application that runs on the backend. And let's see, this is the example. For example, here we check, we call database pool verify key method. When user just clicks inference button, we check if user is anonymous user. If it's anonymous user, and we give this user some restricted key which can be used, for example, like in this case, I think 3 times per 6 hours, and then later user could, anonymous user could use could do inference again after the 6 hours, or someone could ask me for the full key, and I could give it full key for more extensive Sparrow testing. And this check is done in verify key function, and this function is coming from DB pool. And when Python application starts, we create connection pool to the database with from 5 to 10 connections. This means those connections are being reused across Gradio sessions because connection opening operation to database is expensive and time consuming. Slightly, let's say, so it's more efficient if when you're using a pool of connections and then connection is being used from one session to another. And obviously when connection is transferred between sessions, then all the temporary data is being cleared, and then basically another session is using this connection from the start. Okay, so we create database connection pool. And all the code is on the GitHub repo, so you can check it there for more details. I'll not go now into the step-by-step detail like how to create database connection pool in this case. Here we get connection from the pool, release connection, then this get restricted key function. Let's see, it's being used. Let's see if it's being used in the script. Yeah, it's being used. If key is empty, then we're getting restricted key. And another function, verify key, is being used if user is passing the key. So we want to check first that this key is actually a valid key and not some dummy key that or fake key that user is trying to execute. So this is executed through the verify key function. And inside verify key function, we can see that we make a connection, and here we just make a select statement, and we look up in the database if such key exists. Right. And in the case when we getting restricted key, instead of simple query to database table, we call PL/SQL function here, obtain Sparrow key, and this function does multiple things. First, it checks if user is valid to get this key, temporary key. Maybe user is executing too many requests in a given period of time, so then we'll inform that you can get the key later after 6 hours, for example, for your next testing. And all those multiple steps are done in PL/SQL, and the advantage of using PL/SQL is that we execute data-specific logic close to the database or inside the database, and we don't need to fetch data to Python and then iterate through data in Python and then send data back to the database. All this data-specific functionality is done inside the database, and we get back the result. This makes it much more faster. Okay, so this is the application, and the goal of this video was to explain that it's really easy to use database, Oracle database with Python. And by the way, let's see, by the way, if I go to the requirements, the way I'm connecting to a database, I'm using oracledb library. This is former CX_Oracle, I think, library. It was named with this shorter, nice name, oracledb. And if you go to the DB pool, you can see that under imports, let's see, if database enabled, here we are importing oracledb, and we're using light thin mode, so that we don't need to install any Oracle client on the machine where Python runs. In the thin mode, we can if we are not using any advanced functionality or just connecting to execute queries and PL SQL, it's enough to run fin mode in a Python environment, and then great thing that there is no need to install Oracle client. So this is how we're using oracledb library here. So thanks for watching, and see you next time. If you have any questions, drop a comment below the video. I'll be happy to answer. Thanks, and see you next time. Bye.